Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to do a little bit of a flip through so we can see. This is the folio that we did last time, and I've done a little bit of decorating, so I thought I'd just show you. And then we're going to work on the Pink Damask identical style folio, the Folding Folio from My Porch Prints. Okay, as you can see, I've done a little decorating, and I didn't do too much on it. I just wanted to kind of give you an idea of little things that you can use on it, and how you can sort of decorate and make yours. So up here, I just have a piece of card. This is actually a piece from the front of a 12 by 12 paper pad. Most times when you get a paper pad, it will have a small image of each paper that's in the book on the front of the cover, and you can actually cut those and use them as something in your books. I mean, they're, depending on the size of them is what you might want to use them for. So anyways, that's where that's from. There's a little tiny gold thing there. I don't know if you can even see that on there, but it's just a little bit of gold. I tend not to waste a lot of decorative stuff, so I even use the sort of leftovers. That probably would have been something from inside one of these letters that have the openings in them, and I would have just stuck it up there. These letters are sort of a puffy, they're hard puffy letter that came in a package of whatever that I got from someplace. I'm sorry that I can't give you a lot of links and things to things that I have. But I've been doing this for a few years, and I've got card kits, and I've got all sorts of things, and I've gotten them from various companies, and I've also gotten a lot of things from the thrift store. So there may be things that are from there may be things that are from kits. I do know that this is from a My Porch Prints kit, but I couldn't tell you which one it's from. It's one of the papers that you can get. So inside, I've got some more writing words, and I did these little "hey, hi" on here. And then when you open it up, what I've done inside here is put 3 little pockets. So you got a pocket up the top, and you got a pocket here and a pocket here. So you can tuck little cards or little things into there if you want. You can use this as a picture holder if you would like, or you can use it even in a purse if you wanted to use it for putting various things. This could be for credit cards if you wanted it to be. I mean, there's all sorts of things that you can use a folio for. And this one, I don't know if I'd actually keep it in my purse, but you could. And use it for keeping stuff that you have lying around in your purse. Over on this side, we have that other big pocket that we did, and I've just tucked a couple more of those sheets. Again, they're from My Porch Prints, various kits that I've cut them from and keep them. I kind of keep a stack of them. I like to print things like that off and use them in my different folios and journals and things, and just have them on hand. Another one of those words and another part. Oh, that one's even moving. Oh, we'll have to glue that one down later. I'll just tuck it there and give it a little shove and hope it stays. There we go. And inside there's the 2 pockets that we made, so I've just tucked a couple of things in there. Again, those are writing cards that you can use. You could use this as a tiny journal if you wanted. And over in this side, this is a little file folder. It's a miniature file folder. Again, it's from a My Porch Prints kit, as are these ladybugs. Ladybugs are one of my very favorite things, so they're so nice and gentle and useful. Anyway, there's that in there, and then on the back side, I left it blank. I left it blank because at some point I'll probably glue this into a journal. But, so that's it decorated. Now we're going to move on to the Pink Damask, and I'm making the Pink Damask completely different. So that should give you an idea of what it would have looked like originally, with a bit of decoration, of course. And now we get to change it. Now the fun for me of these kits is actually making the changes. So I'm just going to set that to the side and show you. Now I've set these things into little groupings so that I remember what it is, because I sorted this out, figured it out the other day, and I want to make sure that I remember what it was that I wanted to do with these. So I wanted to, this is the center main thing, and I've already done the scoring, so I don't have to worry about doing scoring. All I have to do is bend my various sections here, and my gloves are making it squeak. I hope that's not too loud on camera, but so there we are, that one's been scored. These two, I'm not sure yet what I'm doing with them. This I want over on this side, no, this way around. Putting the tab panel on the front, but I'm going to be backing it the same as it was. But I also want to do a door on this part. I've got it arranged in the way I want it to end up. And you'll see that I've made a few changes. The front is more or less the back. I've moved the front to the back, and on the inside of the front I've got doors. These two floppy things have become their own thing and are now doors. These are going to be like little flip overs that you'll be able to open, and then on this side there's another flip over, and this is just to cover up the gluing, and then the two pockets are going to go here in the middle. So that's all figured out. Let's start putting it together. I'll set the pockets off to the side. Now I haven't decided if I'm going to bother using the circles or not. There doesn't seem to be a great need for them. They may or may not go on the pockets or just to decorate here or something. But right now we're just going to set that aside. And let's look at this part first. So on the front, what I've decided to do is make these doors so that you can open them up and something can be in there. Now one of the doors can go behind, so it'll get covered up by this front piece that's going to go on there. And the other door cannot do that because of the file folder thing there. So we need to just make sure that it gets put there like that. Now if I wanted to, I could just cut this little tab thing off completely, and that would solve the problem, and then this could go here and it would then be between the paper. But I'm going to do it this way just because I kind of like the tab idea on the front of the cover. So I'm going to get my glue, and we'll start by gluing this piece down. Now you have to figure when you're going to make changes, you really have to sit and figure out what do I want to do exactly, and then kind of clip it together or do something to keep it together so you don't forget how it is you'd like it, and then put it together. But don't try and just, well, I mean, if you're that kind of person and you can just do things on the fly, go ahead and do that. But I mean, crafting is really all about the person who's doing it, not about anything else. So I'm just lining up the edge as best I can and making sure that that's down. And excuse me, I need a sip. I have ice water with lemon in it beside me, trying to help my croaky throat. Anyway, there's that done, pushed down. And this is going to go on here, and this is going to go between the two papers, so it'll go behind this. And this is the things you need to figure out, is where do the tabs need to go when I'm working my way to make it something that belongs to me and is my pattern, my design. So this needs to go there, and this one also needs to go there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this one on first onto the back of this, so I need to glue it on the inside. sure I've got enough glue to hang on to it all, so it doesn't come off later, because then, okay, then this goes here. I'll kind of line up, I'm lining up the tips with the corner, and then making sure it can fold over there. And then, oh, my marker just came off. Oh, thank you. And then I need to put this on. So I need to glue this. To the middle part. Line that up. Try and line it up top and bottom. Make sure it'll fold over. Get out my trusty bone folder. This is the Teflon one. I don't use it very often, but I do use it now and again, especially for things like this, for smoothing things down, making sure they're stuck properly and that kind of thing. I don't tend to use it as an actual bone folder. It's a very heavy, very thick type of bone folder. I have one that's a bamboo one that I use when I'm actually cutting and folding and doing things like that. All right, now this piece is, you can see that this is now showing. So to cover that up on the front, we're going to do this. We're going to put that piece there, and then it's a pocket on the front as well. So we only want to glue this on 3 sides because it's going to be the pocket. And it's hard to make this anything but a pocket because it does have that cutout bit. And that's very clearly marked on the pattern when you're cutting it out. So that is there. So it's, you know, it's not something you can kind of cover up because that becomes, it's white. And it's, you know, it's a very clear cutout area. So unless you're covering it up with design, you're going to have it showing, and it's an awkward place to cover with something, with a design like a ribbon or anything like that. It's really kind of awkward because it's right there on the edge. So now we're going to make sure that this folds there. And then we can push everything down. I like to push toward the edge to get the glue to the edge, so that if you don't have glue on a certain part of the edge, it might push there. There, all right, that's that front part done. Now the next part is this part. And this is also, think about what you're doing with it. You've got 2 back-to-back pieces here that are big, and then you've got 2 little flips, one on each one of them. So I'm going to glue the flips onto their individual things, and then glue the 2 on one side and the other of this back piece. So first I'll do this flip, and I'm gluing on the inside of the fold, so that it's sticking where I want it. You really have to pay attention when you're making changes to where you're putting glue and stuff, because you're not following directions, you're doing it on your own. So, but it is fun to do because you kind of figure things out yourself. So this one is going on this side of my front piece, and I want it more toward the bottom, but not right at the bottom. Just sort of toward the bottom of the page. Make sure it'll flip, but push it in to the crease. so that it's sitting in there properly. So when you glue it onto here, it's going to glue onto there properly. Okay, there we go. And then this one, do the same thing. Glue it on the inside. And make sure you're putting it on the correct side. So that's going to sit like that. Like that. I want it here. Oh, this one I want it toward the top. I almost messed up. There we go. A little bit of glue on the bottom here. I'm just going to wipe it a bit with my gloves. Makes it have little black marks, but it's on a part that's not going to be seen, so I'm fine with that. There. All right. There. Now. So now we put them together, and we're going to glue one on one side of this and one on the other. So, but at the same time, masking tape doesn't work, obviously. At the same time, we're going to be gluing this to this. So we have to glue one onto the flap first. So I'm going to glue the flap this way. Because one is on one side of the flap, the other's on the other side of the flap. I'm just turning this over to be able to set it in right. There. Now, this one's going to go like this on this side. So I can glue the flap, but I should probably just glue the whole thing at this stage. So I want lots on the flap because the flap is thick at this point. And then put quite a bit on the edges. Some in the middle just to make sure that the middle stays glued as well. You put quite a bit of work into these things and you don't really want them falling apart afterwards, so. Well, unless you're a glutton for punishment, you know, you just enjoy redoing things, but I'm not that person, so. Move up just a little. There. Yeah, and you want that, yeah, as close to being together as possible, and rub it good, make sure that the glue is sticking down. You can also use, if you've got a Cricut or any of those machines, they come with these nice little little folder or bone folder types of things. I don't even know what they're called, but anyway, they just compress really hard with them, and they're not going to wreck your paper. They don't have points on them. You can use them as a bone folder actually, so if you don't have a bone folder and that's what you've got, then use that. Okay, that's those. That's this. Uh-oh. Now. Uh-oh. What did I do here? I did not check this. Oh, no. This doesn't want to fold closed. Alright. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to change the fold a bit if I can. This may or may not work. Because it's glued and it's a lump, it is not going to work. The front's not going to change either. Well, that's a fine. How do you do that? Should have checked. Alright, let's see what we can do to push it over. Force it a little bit and cut some off. Alright, so I've got an edge here and I'm going to just cut the edge off. And I'm not cutting the folded part, I'm just cutting the edge of the paper that's sticking out. Not bad. There's generally a fix for pretty much everything. And what I have here is I have a little bit wider fold. And that's okay. That just makes it fold a little easier. But now my thing will fold shut. Well, mostly shut. Because it's got all the doors that are bouncing, it's not going to fold flat. But you can fix that. You can do things like put a magnet in here or a string around it. Or there's lots of ways of handling the fact that it's not flat closed. So now we're going to the inside and we're going to put in these last two little pockets. And we could put them on the back if this isn't going to be used as a folio in a journal. I like to put folios into journals, and you can stitch them in using just wherever your fold lines are. I like to glue them in. It's just me. So I have some that are just stitched in, but I have others that aren't. So I'm putting the wide one at the top because I think that looks nicer, and then the narrow one will go at the bottom. So it's just 3 sides, gluing on 3 sides. As thin a glue as you can manage with your glue bottle. If you're using a brush, it's a little harder, like brush and glue. It's harder to get it a little thinner, but use a smaller brush. Pocket. And I want this not quite at the upper corner, because then because this has got a point on it, it could end up getting folded back when you're doing things at the upper part. So there. Now let's make sure that it still flips shut. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Excellent. So that's that one, and we do the last one. Sometimes in these bottles that I use, the Elaine's tacky glue, if you squeeze out one way and it starts balling up on the end of the glue thing, turn it and go the other way, and it'll stop and it'll smoothen out and follow along your glue line. Okay, now this one I want right along the edge, right along the line there, up a little bit from the bottom. Gives you a little bit, oops. Yeah, line it up and then make it crooked. Yeah, that's good. Doing a good job. All right, so that's it put together. Now I think these little circles I could just use as decorations on these, or I could put magnets on these and a magnet back here and just have that as a closure. I could do the same over here. I could have a tab like that to hold this shut. So this glues down to one side. Just be quiet. So you can just glue this down to the actual thing there and use it to hold your one door shut, but not the other one. Or you can put it onto the one door and just leave it over the edge just a little bit, and it'll hold the other door down if you glue it like that. I don't like the look of that because it's off center for me. If I was going to do anything, I'd want to do that, and I really don't want to do that kind of a tie on there. So I might just use these as decoration. This needs to go over to this side, of course. So let's just put these last three little bits onto here, and then we're going to kind of call this one good for today. Then we're going to move into decorating it next time we meet, and we'll decorate this one up and make her pretty. And I think I'd like to use some lace and ribbon and things and make it a very pretty one. Alright, we'll do that. We'll do this. I have some really tiny magnets, and they work good in little places like this, so I might do a magnet. I think I'll leave the last one off and maybe do a magnet on it. But, yeah. It's coming along. Alright, I'm going to call this put together, and when we come back I'll be decorating. That's what it looks like. So it is completely different. As you can see, it's got a completely different look. Besides the paper, it's got a completely different look to this one. This door is gone. The two flaps are in there, but they are on a different page entirely. These flaps have been used here and here. This is on the front. This part is now on the front. You open it up and the pockets have now moved to the inside and are on one page. They're still on the inside, but they're on only one page. And that is it for the changes being made. Alright. I guess I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.